Good morning, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Morning Devotion. I hope you had a wonderful rest last night. Let's start off by offering a greeting about our heavenly parents and true parents. 천진 참모님께 겸배 바로. Now to lead us through the family pledge, I'd like to invite up Reverend Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 천혜여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 번향 땅을 찾아 번연의 창조의 상임 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천혜여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천혜여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 신정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천혜여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천혜여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천혜여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천혜여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 효통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 신정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천혜여급 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천혜여급 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Milhan Stevens. And now to open us up in prayer, I'd like to invite Yukimi Johnson. Yukimi Johnson, if you could please unmute and open us up in prayer.
Okay, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Parent, true parent, thank you so much this great opportunity. Every morning, we can receive your eternal guidance through this morning devotion. We are so grateful to Mother Saint Dr. Yong, this country, elder nation, this country, America. Heavenly Parent, this America is very important position for unite Korean Peninsula. No matter how much prayer for us, no matter how much mega condition, already she's 78 years old, still always deep Johnson. Thank you so much, true mother. Please, Heavenly Parent, protect to mother her health condition. Now we are day by day going to be growing, cultivate our heart through this morning devotion. Dr. Yong, how much make her sacrifice for us, for God's providence. We are so grateful. Now we understand God's deep heart, longing heart, bitter heart. Thank you to the parents. Thank you. Now we are make her good condition through this blessing festival video. We can shoot as much as people, as much as many people through this watch party. I'm so grateful. How much wonderful, how much grateful, how much beautiful this blessing. Thank you, Heavenly Parent. Thank you to the parents to give us this blessing for humankind. Thank you so much. Please, let's open our mind this moment to receive deep guidance through Dr. Yong. I'm so grateful. Again, I offer this small prayer. My name, Johnson Yukimyo-kun of Breast Central Family, Asia.
Thank you, Johnson. You give me upon you are really very, very heartfelt prayer. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kimi-san, for such a beautiful, sincere prayer to open us up today. Brothers and sisters, we're going to go into our breakouts to share our gratitude. So let's spend the next 7 minutes, sharing anything we're grateful for. If you're by yourself, just take this moment to reflect on what you are grateful for today. We'll see you all in 7 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful sharing in your breakouts. I had the opportunity to be with Hiromi Thurston from Miami, Florida, and Reverend Juanita Pierre-Louis. I'd like to invite our Reverend Juanita to share with us her gratitude points this morning. You're still muted
Thank
there.
you. Okay. I always forget that, but thank you so much. I am so happy to always see you, Westwood. You can keep that big smile. I like that. I was saying this morning to Redford and Hiromi that I see our movement growing. Our movement is growing, and I'm so happy to see that, because our words and our actions are coming together. Word without action, you can't grow. So I see that, and I see, when traveling around, I can see that the people we're witnessing to is taking hold now. They're understanding. They're not committing now. They're not fully committing, but they're understanding more about Mrs. Brother Moon and Mrs. Moon, Mother Moon. They really understand it, and most of them are calling her Mother Moon. So I'm happy to hear that. And then we talk about the only begotten daughter, so we know that. And I've explained that quite a bit this last month to people, and they go, "Oh, okay." So I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful that I'm in this movement, seeing our children grow and each one of us grow and our families growing. It's great. It's great. I'm just happy.
Wow, thank you
Thank you.
so much, Juanita and Pierre Louis. Who I could not seldom see your husband Edna, Reverend Edna. How is he now?
Oh, he's doing great. It's just
Yeah.
he's on the meeting so much, with his work
Yeah.
right
Okay.
now.
Thank you
But
so much,
but he
Juanita.
listens on. He listens. Yeah, he
Yeah,
listens on
thank you.
Facebook.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, Reverend Juanita. And yeah, Reverend Edner is still out and about, even with his work. He's trying
Yeah.
to find ways to serve. We called him last night, actually. All right. So next, I'd like to call on. I haven't heard them share gratitudes in a while. David and Mark Portalans. David and Mark Portalans, if you could please unmute and share with us your gratitude points this morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. David and Mark. Wow.
Yeah, for myself, I've been thinking about family a lot recently. I've been away for about 3 months. Mark just recently joined me. We do retail and shopping malls, right? So we've been just away for a little bit, and so I'm just really grateful that my parents took the principle very seriously and put family first, made that priority one. Our family is very close, and I'm just grateful that I'm gonna be back with them very soon. So very grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I would say for myself, I'm definitely still grateful for family as well. Just knowing that throughout this whole Christmas season for us, everyone was working really hard. So knowing that like we were doing it as a family, as a community, it's always really supportive and nice. And but also I'm definitely grateful for my parents as well. And just knowing that my parents, they took the principle seriously, and they're very big supports in our family, and we always know that we can lean on them if anything happens. And like my dad always says, you know, you can put in your time at the physical gym, but you got to make sure that you put your time in the spiritual gym. So that's what we're here for.
Wow.
So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I am so grateful your family members are all so much faithful. Thank you, Davy and Mark and your entire family members. I'm really proud of your family members. Thank you so much for your beautiful sharing. 감사합니다.
Thanks, David and Mark. Mark talks about his dad a lot. I remember during National Family Service, you shared a bit more about it. Rody seems like a really wise guy. I gotta meet him someday. All right, brothers and sisters. On to our main message for today. Please open your hearts, open your minds to receive our heavenly inspiration through our beloved Continental Director, Dr. Yong.
안녕하세요. good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, clergy and ambassadors for peace. 안녕하십니까? Wow, I came to my home. Every day I seeing my grandchildren's playing here and there. Wow, this is really one of the incredible joy and happiness. While I am not here, my all grandchildren growing up so much, and I am really happy that they recognize me, so it was really great. Thank you so much for your prayer for my family. 감사합니다. I'm always praying for our North American Providence and each one of our brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. Today, I'd like to talk about indomitable faith, determination, and perseverance from True Mother's Anthology, Book 1. So I'd like to invite Heavenly Honey to read.
Indomitable faith, determination, and perseverance. Since you understand who Father is, all of you may think I am very happy. You may simply think I am perfect in every respect. You may think because God created you to be like that, and since from the beginning you were born perfect, you were chosen for the position of true mother without needing to make any effort of your own. Your general view of me might be that since I am married to Father and I am the true mother of the entire cosmos, I must have a happy family and be enjoying my life. This is far from the reality. Father walked the path of the cross and suffered immensely in order to stand in his position. Therefore, I, in my own way, also had to carry a difficult cross. When I look back and think about my circumstances in those days and the course I walked, I cannot hold back my tears. My tears become uncontrollable. To talk about my past life is very painful because the memories of my trials and tribulations vividly reappear. It is unbearable even to think about the path I walked. It was a succession of trials that caused suffering difficult to endure. Just as God tested Father after he chose him, God did the same to me again and again. And just as Satan tested Father and Jesus, he also tested me. Women may be weak compared to men, yet still I had to pass through severe and intense trials comparable to what the Messiah passed through. I grew up like a beautiful flower in a greenhouse in the most peaceful surroundings and atmosphere. After the holy wedding, it was like I had been plucked out of the greenhouse and thrown into a desert. I was living in an environment like a desert. Everywhere I went, it was like the rough sea had gone crazy. There were all kinds of temptations and tests around me, and many troubles swirling around. I was like a little sailboat on a rugged sea. But during this period, I felt the grace of God constantly upon me. When I was in agony, God revealed himself to me and gave me messages and guidance. When I was not receiving such guidance from him directly, God used the people around me, loving people, people taking care of me. Through them, God gave me constant guidance, daily instruction, and leadership. Those days were a tremendous ordeal of difficulties and tribulations, but at the same time, those days were truly most beautiful, a time of grace when God's presence was indeed with me. During the growth period, I was much worried about reaching perfection. But now that that period has ended and I have reached the standard desired by heaven, I look back upon that time and realize that all my memories of hardships have been transformed into ones of joy. I was always able to have profound dialogues and exchanges with True Father. In other words, between True Father and I, there were endless topics of conversation and infinite understanding. We held unceasing dialogues with complete trust in one another. Without having to say many words, True Father and I understood each other's situations perfectly.
Thank you. And for Jesus, after 40-day fast, he was subjected to the 3 great temptations from Satan. And in the end, he gave his body up to the cross and suffered unimaginable hardships and sacrifice. When I think of our Jesus' suffering and hardships, I cannot help but cry. So the Father, as the Messiah, also had to spend 6 times in prison, including Hungnam prison, and overcame countless trials in indescribable persecution, opposition, and Satan's accusation. My brothers and sisters, True Mother is the only begotten daughter who was found for the first time in 6,000 years. Satan could not just let True Mother go to the position of the only begotten daughter. True Mother had to go through the same trials and Jesus and True Father. We need to know this point. True Mother had to go through more trials and tribulation than any woman who came and went on the earth. She is not just only given the position of True Mother, the only begotten daughter. The position of True Mother, her only begotten daughter, must pay a lot of indemnity and price. And she must pay a price that even Satan cannot have but acknowledge. Otherwise, she should know that she won't be able to stand in that position. We should not think of the True Mother as merely the wife of the Messiah. Our cannot help but heart ache when we think about how True Mother was able to overcome such a difficult ordeal and triumph single-handedly as a woman. Knowing that the central figures established by heaven have all overcome many trials and tribulations from the years of hardship from Satan, we need to inherit their achievements. And we think of their mistakes as my mistakes, and we must make up for their shortcoming and be victorious. My brothers and sisters, when we think about the True Father, everybody think about True Father suffering and hardships and difficulties, all kind of indemnity. But we do not think seriously about True Mother's indemnity cause, difficult cause, to become God's only begotten daughter. She also need to pay same price, same trials, same hardship, like a father, like a Jesus. Otherwise, Satan never allow True Mother get the position of the God's begotten daughter. We need to know that. When we simply think, oh, True Mother just only shadow of the True Father. She just only the Messiah's wife. We cannot think that way. To stand that position as the only begotten daughter, then much she need to pay the price. Then much she need to pay indemnity. Then much she need to go through all kinds of suffering and difficulties and sacrifices. We need to know about that. Then we can understand that true father and true mother kind of the same equal position and respect each other, and they understand each other. If true mother did not go through, just all of a sudden become the Messiah's wife, she never understand true father's heart. We really need to understand our true mother's position, to get that position, how much she need to go through all kinds of suffering and difficulties. Living divine principle. Today, I'd like to talk very important topic, but I already shared some content to each one of you. Life of give and take action. How to apply our divine principle to our daily life. We are just reading and reading and reading and reading. We do not know how to apply our divine principle to our daily life. Does not make any sense. So let's study the EDP content first. I'd like to invite the Heavenly Honey again, please.
Through the agency of universal prime energy, the subject and object elements of every entity form a common base and enter into interaction. This interaction, in turn, generates all the forces the entity needs for existence, multiplication, and action. The interaction generating these forces through this process is called give and take action. Universal prime energy and the forces generated by give and take action are in a reciprocal relationship of cause and result, internal and external, and subject partner and object partner. Hence, universal prime energy is a vertical force, while the forces generated by give and take action are horizontal forces. Let us examine in detail God and his creation in terms of universal prime energy and give and take action. God's universal prime energy directs his eternal dual characteristics, original internal nature and original external form, to form a common base for their mutual relationship. The dual characteristics then engage in give and take action. Based on the forces generated by this give and take action, the dual characteristics construct a foundation for their eternal reciprocation. This is the foundation for the existence of God, upon which he eternally exists and generates all forces needed to create and sustain the universe. In the created universe, the dual characteristics, internal nature and external form, that make up each being are empowered by universal prime energy to establish a common base. They then engage in give and take action. Based on the forces generated by this give and take action, the dual characteristics construct a foundation for their continued reciprocation. This becomes the foundation for the existence of each individual being, upon which the being becomes an object partner to God and is able to generate all forces necessary for its continued existence. For example, atoms come into existence when electrons assemble about a nucleus and engage in electromagnetic interaction, which is a type of give and take action. Molecules form and produce chemical reactions when positive ions and negative ions perform give and take action. Also, the give and take action between stamen and pistil is the dominant means for the reproduction of plant life. Animals multiply and maintain their species through the give and take action between male and female. The human body maintains its life through the give and take action between the arteries and veins, inhalation and exhalation, and so forth. The give and take action between mind and body enables an individual to carry out activities which further the purpose of life. Furthermore, the give and take actions between husband and wife in a family, among people in a society, between the government and citizens in a nation, and among the nations of the world are essential for them to live together in harmony and peace.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. Today, we are going to study how to apply give and take action in our lives. We study give and take action through the content of the attributes of true love last time, but we will study it in detail once again. Life of true love. First, the principle of give and take of true love is to give first and then receive later. On the other hand, unprincipled give and take is taking first and then giving. Also, it is even forgetting to give back. Simply said, my brothers and sisters, I learned not just only Reverend Johan Lee, I learned from Father. He said, giving and receiving is principled. However, taking and giving is a four. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Very important, very simple, but very clear. Once again, giving and receiving is principled, but taking and giving is a four. Father Moon said the following about true love. Maybe I gave this lecture many times, but I'd like to remind again. The first attribute of true love is seeking to give first. I really love this content. This content really changed my entire life. A love that seeks to give and forget, to give and forget, and give again that seeks to give and forget. And when it can no longer give, grieves, shedding tears. What does true love means? Giving and giving and giving and giving, and completely forget what I have given. I still want to give more. When it can no longer give, grieves, shedding tears. Wow. Beautiful. Nobody described the meaning of true love, something like this. The first attribute of true love is a love that gives first and then forget. Parental love is an unconditional love that always gives first and then forgets. Also, parental love is a love of unconditional sacrifice and unconditional investment. A love that invests until my object partner is better than me is true love. This is really amazing. What does true love mean? What our neighbor, society, and country needs and demand today is a parent-like leadership. True love. When parents give unconditionally to children, children give unconditionally to the parents, the husband gives to his wife, the wife gives to her husband unconditionally, and they sacrifice unconditionally. More than trying to receive, the principle of true love is trying to give first, try to initiate and try to give first. If we apply this kind of principle of true love, always giving, forgetting to our family, society, nation, and world, what kind of the world will it be? As a husband, try to give and try to give, try to serve and try to give for the sake of the wife. As a wife, try to give and try to serve for the sake of the husband. As a parent, try to give and try to serve for the sake of the children. As a children, try to give and try to serve him first for the sake of the parents. Abel tried to give and try to serve him for the sake of the Cain. As the Cain tried to serve and try to give him for the sake of the Abel. And as the people try to serve and try to give him my nation first. As a prime minister, as a president, all the political leaders try to giving and try to serve for the sake of the people. what kind of the world will it be? Always, principle and truth is simple. Practice this principle. Giving first and forget. Everybody practice this simple principle. Kingdom of heaven is already here, my brothers and sisters. If as a husband and wife or parents in the family or as a leader of the nation, if we try to give first, then the kingdom of heaven will come automatically. However, many people do not know this basic and simple truth. As the true father said, if a person leaves behind at least 3 episodes, unforgettable 3 episodes in their life, which God cannot never forget, and their name is recorded in the book of life in heaven, that person will never go to the hell. Wow, that's why I share all the time Rev.Chung Yohan's stories. When he studied in Japan on the Japanese occupation, our Korea, and he studied in Japan, even though theological school. And then, Japanese government asked all students to give the Japanese God, Japanese shrine. But he doesn't want to worship to Japanese God. And the school principal, you need to choose. You need to get out from school, or you want to study continue in my school, then you need to worship Japanese shrine. And then Rev.Chung Yohan asked Jesus, what should I do? And then immediately Jesus came down to him and shake his hand. No! And he didn't follow. And finally, he kicked out from the school. When Rev.Chung Yohan met Father Moon first at Busan Bomnegol, first time meeting between Father Moon and Rev.Chung Yohan Lee, and then Rev.Chung Yohan Lee, as soon as Father Moon, as soon as look at Rev.Chung Yohan, he told him, hey, your name is recorded in the book of life. And the Rev.Chung Yohan is surprised. My name is recorded in book of life? How? And explain which year, which month, which day you kicked out from the school. You keep your life of faith. At the time, God was so much moved. Your name recorded in book of life, my brothers and sisters. Yeah, so, 3 unforgettable, 3 kind of the episodes in your life, which God cannot never forget. And their name is recorded in book of life. If you die, how many people will remember you? How many people will shed tears with the heart of the gratitude? If you are always the first to give, your relationship are always seen to grow and develop and multiply. This is the law of the universe, my brothers and sisters. Am I first to give or the first to receive? What kind of your time? I am giving time or I'm receiving time? I am telling you, you are giving time all the time. I am telling you, guarantee. Your life always increasing and developing and multiplying. Everybody welcome you. However, you are just only taking, just receiving time rather than giving. You always make trouble. Your relationship problem, something between husband and wife, between parents and child, between Cain and Abel. That's why always you need to reflect. Why I am struggling with my Abel? Why I am struggling with my spouse? Why I am struggling with my Abel or Cain? You need to think about it. My time is really giving time or receiving time. We need to really think about, that kind of relationship. How about your nation? Is your nation is developing or declining in terms of both moral and economic development? If your nation apply the principle of giving first, then automatically it will develop and grow. It will become the nation will receive many blessings, and heaven will walk with it. A nation that is indebted to other nation cannot develop, but a nation that always helps other nation will never perish. So now America is the center of the world. However, Corona hit, even our business in our church. So we are very much a difficult situation, as you know. But I really encourage each sub-regional leaders, even though we have this kind of situation, no matter what, we need to help for the sake of the world. Each sub-region need to select one nation in each continent. Let's have even small amount of money. Which nation is a potential nation to be 천일국? That's why sub-region 1 decided to have the Philippine nation. Sub-region 2 decided to have the, Dominica. And then sub-region 3 is Bolivia in South America. Sub-region 4, Albania in Europe. Sub-region 5 is Cambodia. And then our Canada try to help the Africa. I am telling you, if we are helping, we are serving for the sake of the world. Our American movement never, ever perish. The great blessing surely will come. This is a universal principle. My 60, I'm 64 years old. This is my 64 years experience, my brothers and sisters. Very, very important, I am telling you. Wow. Those who are helping, those who are living for the sake of others, I am telling you, never, ever perish. God surely bless that person. One thing that our true father emphasized to us was to never be indebted to anyone wherever you go. How then do you give and forget? The formation stage of faith is just likes to receive. That is the faith of the servant. The growth stage of faith is giving, but finding it harder to forget. The completion stage of faith is giving and forgetting. They live a feeling of joy just by giving alone, by giving itself already so happy. What your standard? What your stage about stages? Formation stage, your growth stage, your completion stage. And also, I love this Bible content, Okay, next one. And also, I'd like to mention about, always I'm sharing about this content. I'm so inspired about that. When I was in Oceania, as an Oceania Continental Director, I visited to the small nation of the Micronesia, and then I met one of the paramount chief. And he's very arrogant, but sometimes he's a humble guy, and he's a little bit old man. I educated him. The Micronesia system is a very much a respect tribal system more than political system. Political leaders is not much popular, but tribal system is very, very strong. And then I invited him to come to Australia to listen our Divine Principle lecture. He was so inspired. He often cried after hearing our Divine Principle, especially listening my lecture. And he came to me and he talked to me. He said, Dr. Yong, in my life, I cried 2 times. Maybe I cry when I come out from my mother's womb. Second time, I never show any of my tears to anyone. But since I came to this seminar, I was so much moved and weeping a lot. That's why this second At times my tears really experience of the rivers. Thank you, Father Moon. Thank you, Mother Moon. Thank you, Divine Principle. This is one of the real example. This husband and wife. And later on, I invited again his wife. I invited his wife to Australia, and she also attended. And she's the one who shared such a beautiful story. Let's say they are husband and wife. This is a real example. This husband, this